Welcome back to Straight Outta Marvel. It shows Kevin27 back with another fire episode, and today we have the 62 things I missed the first time I seen Thunderbolts with an asterisk. Okay, so you already know, baby. Light up that exotic if you got it. Pour up that expensive so we can get offensive. We got a lot to talk about. Please 5-star rate me. Follow at Kevin27 World, all that good stuff. Let's get right into it. Starting off with number one, Yelena starts the movie off very melancholy. So much just going through the motions. Even said, "Do you shoot? I dodge." Like, she just like, bro, I'm so good at this. She's like Tony Hawk. Remember when I played that Tony Hawk clip? When he was like, bro, I'm just so good at skating, it made me depressed because I was just better than everyone else and it was no competition. Like, that's how she was acting. She's like, I'm just going through the motions. I do the same stuff. I'm tired of killing people. Like, I get what she was talking about and where she was coming from. So yeah, man, you gotta look out for Yelena because she starts off setting a very strong tone. Okay. Number two, the doctor warns Yelena about the Sentry Project. But my thing when it comes to the doctor is, why on earth, instead of just shooting Yelena when you have her at a distance, you wait all the way until she gets close up on you and then you decide to shoot? Like, I could see if Yelena was maybe like 6 feet away when he pulled the blick on her. She was like a good 18 feet away. So you let her walk all up on you like this. It's like, don't do it. Don't do it. Why don't you shoot? Like, that's what she was doing the whole time. And then what happened? She ended up letting him go. So, or not letting him go, but you know, the whole Sentry shit. And then what happened with the doctor. So number three, Val de Fontaine points out how the Avengers are no more and there are multiple rogue nations with more technology than USA, and pointed out how the president turned into the Hulk and almost destroyed the entire city. Now this is true. So we know Val is the one who did the Sentry Project in the first place, and she was testing it on a bunch of people, and I'm pretty sure they knew about it. That's why she was being having a hearing to be impeached. So yeah, man, yeah, Val, bad news, brother, bad news. And I like how they just, at least acknowledge that Captain America Brave New World happened. I still wish they acknowledged Secret Invasion happened. Like, she should have said something about him and the previous president. I would have liked to have seen that. You know what I mean? Because what happened with that guy? Like, why did that guy just lose his presidency? So, number four, Alexi uses dish soap for mouthwash. Just had to throw that out there. Crazy, insane. And just pivoting back to number three real quick. Which nations? She said rogue nations. So you got to be talking about Wakanda. But what else? What is the other nation with more technology than USA? Y'all let me know in the comments what you think what nation you think it is. It only could be, at least in the MCU, it could only be Wakanda because they got Stark Tech in America, and that's the best tech, nanotechnology and all that stuff. So yeah. But anyway, so back to number four, Alexi uses dish soap for mouthwash, which I thought was utterly disgusting, but very much Alexi. And I'm not gonna lie, bro, Alexi carries this movie specifically on the comedy side. He is brilliant on the comedy side. So yeah, man, I really enjoy just what he brought to the table. So number five, we do see Alexi being adored by the crowd in Russia as he's Red Guardian. So he's not all lies. So remember, um, they kind of made it just played it up like he was just some type of clown. Like, oh, I fought Captain America in 1988, and they was like Captain America was frozen. Like, what are you talking about? Like, like doing stuff like that, making him just lying for no reason. So they did things like that. So when you think about it from that perspective, I like that they showed that yes, he actually was in the field. He actually did get his he actually did do what he said he did. And I appreciate that. You know, at least showing some of that, okay? Number 6, Yelena tells Val she wants something more public facing. So Yelena is out here having killer's remorse, I'm guessing. She wants to do something new. Like, I'm not mad at that. Obviously, she's just killing for kill's sake. She wants to be more of the hero. Don't we all? So, yeah, I'm not mad at that. And I like that she actually had the balls to tell Val that because most people like when you like an assassin and you doing stuff like that, you're not supposed to tell the people that you're working for like, oh, I'm having a change of heart because they're gonna do exactly what Val did and that's try to kill you because you're a liability now. You're getting soft. You know what I mean? Like I get where Val was coming from and where she's coming from. So yeah, smoker. Number 7. Love how Val sets everyone up to kill each other, which is a good twist because I thought this entire movie that they will be working for Val because they've all, well, as far as I know, now we know that they set it up with her and Yelena, they set it up with her and John Walker. So we know that. Now, Ghost, Taskmaster, I'm not sure how that entered, like, how that came about. But still, I thought that the elevator scene would be more in the beginning of Thunderbolts, and it was not. It was at the end. So it lets you know was it, or it was like toward it was like the back end of the movie. It wasn't the end, but it was the back end. It was way afterwards. So yeah, I thought that it would be something like that, but no, way better plot because I'm glad it wasn't like that because then that would have just been the Suicide Squad. You know what I mean? So way better plot, way better. Not, oh, I'm putting a chip in you, and if you don't do what I say, we're gonna blow your brains out. Like none of that stupid shit that DC got going on. Number 8, why was Taskmaster killed so easily, and why does Disney hate her so much? A bullet to the face in the beginning of the movie is insane. I'm standing on that. Like the fact that Ghost just shot Taskmaster right in the face was it was pretty insane. I'm not gonna lie. I just thought that was kind of crazy that they really had the balls to go there. Like you shoot this person is on the dang cover. I don't know if she's on the box though. Let me see. Yeah, they got her on there. Like I'm just like, dang. Like it's just kind of crazy that they did her like that. Like just shot her right in the face. She got no like all she said was I'm not here for you. And then tried to kill John Walker. And then she got shot in the face. Damn, by Ghost. I'm guessing it's just because she just tested so badly for Black Widow. And it's that whole gender swap. Man, the people, man, they gonna let you know the race swap and the gender swap and they over it. So they gonna let you know, man. And yeah, with Taskmaster, people just was not feeling that shit, dog. Was not feeling it. Number 9, Val's assistant said you could only understand life backwards. Now, I was trying to understand what that mean because I was like, life backwards. And I was like, life backwards is evil, which is, I guess, evil. Life is evil. I don't know. I was just reaching, but we just had to point that out there. Number 10. Love how U.S. agent is acting like people respect him after his failed attempt as Captain America. Like he was like acting so entitled once they all got done fighting. And he's like, "Oh, yeah, they're coming back for me. I'm important. I'm this and I'm that." I'm like, "Bro, why are you acting like you're not an embarrassment to the country? You're the first Captain America that was appointed after Steve Rogers when it became old again. And the first thing you do is kill a man in public. You are a shame to the country. I don't understand why he was acting so entitled. Just weird vibes. It's kind of hard to rock with him, but they gonna make us rock with him, and I'm not mad at it, you know. But yeah, man, weird dude. Okay. So before we get to number 11, man, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure you're liking, commenting, subscribing. If you're watching on Spotify, give a 5-star rating. If you are watching on YouTube, give a thumbs up and comment, subscribe, all that. We need all the love at Kevin27 World on YouTube and on Spotify, straight out of Marvel. Okay, let's get back to the show. Number 11. Who knew loud noises kept ghosts from phasing through walls? I did not. I gotta go back and rewatch Ant-Man and the Wasp. I'm not sure if that was a thing in there, but it definitely was something that kept her from phasing through walls. So nice little tidbit to see where that will lead in the future of the MCU. Now that she's gonna be more of a player because the Thunderbolts, we get to that at the end, are, gonna be in the Avengers, Doomsday. So yeah, we're gonna see how that goes. So number 12. I'm so shocked that John Walker has been humbled after everything that happened to him. Being naive about the incinerator is crazy to me. It's insane. He was really shocked to think, like, he was surprised that Val will like try to kill him. I'm so I'm shocked that he's shocked. Like, huh? Bro, who cares? Like, again, maybe that's why what happened to him, but it just makes zero sense for him to have so little zero like so little awareness about himself and his status as a person. Like, I get it. He kind of redeemed himself at the end of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, kinda, but no, no. Number 13 was John Walker saying "on your left" a meta joke. So while they were trying to burst out the door, he told Yelena, he was like, "on your left." So I was just like, was that a meta Captain America joke? Like, was it people like me in the theater like, he said the thing, but it's not a Captain America movie, but is it just a nice little joke? Number 14. So we see Yelena going through trauma as she set up a little girl to be murdered, and Bob is in the dream with her. So, mind you, at this point, we've already met Bob, and he said his name is Bob, and John Walker was like, "Please stop saying Bob." So, shout out to Bob though. But yeah, crazy trauma that Yelena has to deal with. Obviously, we know about her being a child assassin and all the things that they had to go through. So we're not gonna blame Yelena, but whew, she was like, "I'm over here." Little girl was like, "Oh, Yelena." Dude just came right out. Shot a little girl right in the face. Like, golly, they had going on over there in the red room. What kind of training is that? The hell? So, number 15, Red Guardian has a limo service and was driving Val when she explained about killing the gang. So, I don't think his limo service picked her up. I'm just assuming because he has a limo service, he had the idea of jacking whoever Val's driver was and driving himself. But that part is so funny because it doesn't even come into play literally until like 40, 50 minutes late, maybe like an hour later. Like Alexi just doesn't even come into play. So it was kind of crazy. Number 16, Bob laughs at the thought of John Walker being Captain America because he's an asshole. So it was funny. Now, second night, not as many laughs as from the first night I went. The first night I went, this one got a huge reaction from the crowd when he said that when he started laughing and John Walker was like, "What's funny?" He was like, "What's funny about me being Captain America?" And he's like, "You're an asshole." And John Walker slammed them all up against the wall and shit. He was tight, but yeah, bro. Like to me, he never had that Captain America swag. You know that tender care. You know, to me at least, I never felt it. Like, and y'all know I don't even like Captain America like that. But to me, he wasn't like the Captain America. Number 17. Yelena shows emotional connection to Bob, and they even mention how the darkness feels like a void. So, yeah, a lot of foreshadowing in this part of the movie. A lot of foreshadowing for what happens at the end. Number 18, Bucky puts his vibranium arm in the dishwasher. Cool little tidbit to know, right? Wondering how he cleans that thing. Oh, he was eating. I don't know what he was eating, but he got it all over his shirt. I'm assuming he got on his arm. So he was like, let me throw this thing in the dishwasher real quick. So love that. Love that little touch. Okay. Love that little touch. Number 19. Ghost can hold her power, but only for a minute. Now, I don't want to say only like that. So when she does her phasing thing, when she like phase through the walls and all that stuff, she can only do it for a minute, but that's more than enough time. You know what I mean? It's no wall. I don't think it's any wall that's a minute long for you to have to walk through. Like, you know what I mean? So it's pretty much she can get anywhere as long as she can see it. Because she also said she has to see where she's going, or her body would like s- split into pieces or something. So yeah, that was cool to know. Number 20. While climbing up the wall, Bobby says he always makes it worse, which is more foreshadowing towards the end of the movie. I told you this part of the movie was a lot of foreshadowing for what was going to happen at the end of the movie. So yeah, I really like that. And I noticed it the first time I seen it, but coming back and watching it again and while taking notes, something serious. So before we move on in the list, if you are enjoying this video, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe on YouTube at Kevin27 World. You can also follow Kevin27 World on Instagram, Twitter, aka X, and that's Kevin27 World, WRLD. Rest in peace, Juice World. And please give a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and Spotify at Straight Outta Marvel. Now let's get back to the show. Number 21. In John Walker's trauma flashback, was his family and the last time he seen them after he killed Nico. So I'm not laughing at anyone's trauma, okay? But it was a scene where it was like the most manliest thing ever because the baby was crying, his son, and she was like, John, are you watching the baby? And he's like, yeah, I'm doing the thing. I'm watching him. Like, referring to watching your child as doing the thing is crazy. Now, only thing I didn't like in this scene is like, what's up with the shorty? Like, if the baby's in the bed or he's in his playpen, you know John Walker has just had a bad, I don't know how long or how far after Falcon and Winter Soldier this was, but you all know what happened after he killed Nico. It's not like he killed Nico for no reason. Like Carly killed his mans, so he went and killed one of her mans. Like it's I know we acting like that, but that's what happened, right? So yeah, I can understand why he did what he did, but at the same time, you supposed to be Captain America. You're supposed to be able to keep your composure. You failed. It's over. So yeah, I just didn't understand why the wife was just like so like I don't know why the wife was like so pushy when it comes to the babysitting. Yeah, it was so weird. It was so weird to me. I was just like she was like pressing him, and then he was like, "Well, if you don't like how I do it, then you can do it by yourself." I was like, "Oh, turn into a single mother." Then he's like, You ain't feeling me? Single parent time." But I guess she flipped it on him because she dipped on his dumb ass. At number 22, why did Yelena tie Bob around her waist like a toddler? Very funny, but it's more foreshadowing. It plays into what Val was saying about Bob. They pity you. So it's not like she was doing it on purpose, but she did put that in his head because he like I think I'm strong now. I should be able to help you. And she like, nah, I'm gonna wrap you around my waist, and then you grab this gun and you just point and shoot. Like you don't know what you're doing. I know what I'm doing. I'm a Black Widow. You don't know what you're doing. Who are you? So, yeah, more foreshadowing. Number 23, Bob sacrifices himself for the team and then gets lit up. They shot my man like 100 times, but then stands back up unfazed and starts flying. So, I like this scene because it's not many flyers in the MCU that just fly on their own accord, right? Like I think Thor can just fly now, but when he flies, he usually uses his hammer. So the only ones who really fly is Carol Danvers. Well, actually, now I'm about to say a lot. Carol Danvers, Monica Rambeau. Like those, the only two that can just fly. And I guess White Vision, but he don't count, bro, because we haven't seen him in forever. So I like seeing Sentry just being able to R. Kelly his way up out of their paws. But you know, I like seeing that. It was cool. Number 24. It takes John Walker half the movie to realize that Val wants them dead. Like honestly, it took all the way until half the movie for him to be like, dang, she does really want us dead. Duh! You don't think all of the stuff that happened all this time? You like, what's wrong with you, dude? Like, I don't, I don't understand it. It just was really weird that the way John was acting, but it is what it is. So this part, I just liked this, and I liked it the first time I heard it. when Yelena was telling Ghost about Taskmaster, because Taskmaster was like, "You knew her?" She was like, "Yeah." And then she was like, "She had a tough life. She killed a lot of people and got killed, you know." And then she was like, "That's how all of us are going to end up." And then Ghost was like, "Damn, that's a shit life." And then that's when John Walker says, he says something like, "What do you know about that, Mister? I'm going home to my wife and kid." And he was like, "Yeah, mm-hmm." Now, you already know he was like, "Yeah, that ain't happening." But this is just more foreshadowing because, bro, they was eating his ass up. But pause, but we going to get to that. We going to get to that. Number 26. Red Guardian pulls up to warn everyone that Yelena was going to burn, or not Yelena, but okay, so number 26, Red Guardian pulls up to warn everyone that Val was going to burn them up. Laugh out loud, literally a day late. Like this was the night before. He comes the next day. I don't know how he found him, but he found him. Actually, I think she may have said something about their location, and he drove all the way there in his busted up ass limo. Comedy, peak comedy, especially because I thought at all the way up until this point, I thought the comedy was very dry. They needed Alexi to come and save the like, because bro, like I love the MCU humor. We didn't get any of that until Red Guardian showed up because he was gone for most of the movie. So I was glad that that happened like that. But yeah, when he pulled up and then Yelena was like, "Oh no." She put her head down in embarrassment. Classic. I loved it. He's like, "Yelena, that is gonna burn you guys up. Save you." I love that part. I love that part. I love that part. I love that part. So yeah, shout out Alexi. He was very good. So number 27, Thunderbolts was the name of Yelena's Pee Wee soccer team, a Pee Wee soccer team that lost every game. And the only highlight of the season was some girl took a poo in the middle of the field. So yeah, that's why they are called the Thunderbolts with an asterisk, and I cannot wait till we get to that. Number 28, Bucky showing up on the motorcycle is a top five moment of the movie, and it damn sure ain't five, not four. Especially with John being so happy to see him, which was so funny because the last time I'm pretty sure he seen Bucky was when they were all saving the city or whatever. Was that in New York? I think that was in New York. And Falcon and Winter Soldier. But I guess they didn't leave on too bad of a terms. Bucky did break his arm. Was it Bucky or was it Falcon? Someone broke his arm. But damn, tough, bro, tough. Number 29, all that happiness just for Bucky to blow up Alexi's car. I was like, damn. This is Alexi's personal car, business car, I think, matter of fact. Not even personal car. This is business car, and you done blew it up. Damn, bruh. You hate to see that happen. You hate to see that happen. Okay, but it was a good moment. I really enjoyed it. Bucky came and stole the show, especially with the action. I like Bucky for sure. So before we get to the rest of the 10, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe on this video. If you are enjoying it, turn on that notification bell at Kevin27 World on YouTube. You can follow Kevin27 World on Instagram, Twitter, aka X. Please subscribe. And if you're watching on Spotify, 5-star rate me. You can comment on this video and I think you could download it. You could do that. And most importantly, follow me and 5-star rate me. Okay. Now let's get back to the episode. Number 31. So now we're on Val's trauma after, this whole, I don't want to say kidnapping, but well, yeah, I guess they kind of did kidnap Century after he sacrificed himself for the team. Well, Bob at this point. And when she was talking to him, you know how he is. He's Mr. Let me invade your trauma, your most traumatic moment. And he went into hers, and hers was seeing her dad get killed right in front of her. And not only get killed in front of her, the dude that killed her was like, don't worry, I'm gonna take care of little Valentina. It's not funny, but it's just crazy. Like, don't worry, I'm gonna take care of little Valentina. Like, damn, bro. Shot that dude right in the stomach. So, yeah, that happened. Number 32. So after we get a cutback and Bucky has all of the Thunderbolts tied up. And he says something, I think John says something slick. He was like, Congressman Barnes. And he was like, what's that supposed to mean? He's like, you know me. So you know I'm telling the truth. He's like, I don't know that. He's like, only thing I know about you is you killed someone in public. And he was like, but he put John on blast about his wife leaving him and taking his kid. And I was like, damn, that hurt. Like, why you had to put the man business out there? That was uncalled for. But I guess it's because he was like, Congressman Barnes. He was like, all right, well, let me humble you real quick. Let me tell you something real quick. That was nasty work though. Nasty, nasty, nasty work from John or from Bucky Barnes. Number 33, Val's assistant tells Bucky about Bob in Century, and now he's a believer. Bob, like everyone that was like, Bob, Bob. Like, I guess Bob is just such a Bob name. Like, especially for nowadays, you don't really meet too many Bobs. Maybe Bobbies, but not Bob. So, mm. So number 34, Bucky tells the team that he was where they are, but they can be better after Yelena had doubts about a team and about being a hero. And if this cast of characters can be one, and he was like, I know that we can do this. Like, I know we got this. Don't trip. So I like that. I like that. I like the sentiment that was, told right there. I like that. Number 35. I love how Val is putting the battery in Bob's back. Talking like, oh, people just see you as Bob. They pity Bob. But she believes in him. So again, this is what I told you. More foreshadowing. Remember back earlier when I said this about Yelena, was like, oh, let me just put you around my waist. Like she put him around it, like she put a belt on him. She put a leash on him. She she did him like he was a newborn baby. You know what I mean? Like I'm not understanding why she was so cool with that, but she was very condescending. Number 36. So we finally get to see the Avengers Tower was bought by Valentina and even pours a drink like Tony Stark did in the first Avengers when he made that drink and was telling Loki, if we can't defend the Earth, you damn sure right, we're gonna avenge it. Like, oh, that was so cold. I love when he said that. But yeah, she poured her a drink and she made that. Oh, can you imagine how many iconic battles were fought right here? Now to think about it, as far as Avengers Tower, okay, the first Avengers movie for sure, but that's it. I can't. I guess when they first fought Ultron, I guess that was in Avengers Tower. But other than it's She said it like it was like multiple. Maybe it was fights we don't know about, but the way she said it, mm, 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 mm. Number 37. Val says Bucky only made half his term as congressman. So I'm not sure if that meant like he had got voted out or I don't know what that means because it seemed like in the beginning of the movie, like he was still talking like he was like a congressman. And now she's saying, "Oh, you only made half your turn. You ain't nothing." She even flamed John Walker, called him Junior Captain America, like, or she called him Junior Varsity. Like she was like, "Bro, you JV. You wasn't even close to like the real Cap." I was like, "Damn." A lot of deep cuts in this movie, and John Walker took the brunt of it. He should. He's like the worst character here, but he took the brunt of it. Number 38, seeing Bob as Sentry with his clothes on is a fresh look, but I'm not feeling the blonde hair. I was not feeling the blonde hair, but the suit, I love the suit. Real superhero gimmicky. Like, I really love his suit. I need more Sentry, and I cannot wait until he like is able to, harness his powers. But I really enjoy Sentry and what he looked like. Number 39. I love that Alexi is the one to kick off the fight against Sentry. Say what you want, but that man is all heart. You could say he's a clown, he's just a goofball, comic relief. But when it was time to put them hands up, it reminded me like when you on the streets and you got that one homie, when y'all like bumping gums with someone, and you got that one homie like, bro, fuck all this talking. Just still off, and everybody start fighting. Like that's what Alexi did. I loved it. I enjoyed it because they got the scrapping and they got their ass beat. But I loved to watch it. I loved to watch it. It was very good, very fun. And yeah, I cannot wait to watch that scene back again. So number 40, very impressed with Sentry and his skill set, stopping bullets, heating up guns. Like he had it all. Obviously, he can fly. Um, he can sense where because Ghost. She does the Ghost thing. She disappearing here, here, here. He was like, I got your dumb ass bitch. Like he was on shit. I really like. I like what Sentry was doing. He was a really good character, and I like I wish we could have got more of that. Him as Sentry, the bad Sentry, as opposed to, what we got just Bob for the most of the movie. But, he was still really good. I really enjoyed him. So before we move on in the list, we reach 40. Please make sure you follow at Kevin27 World if you like this video. And to support, you can always subscribe on YouTube at Kevin27 World. Give a notification bell, give a like, and please give a 5-star rating on Apple Podcast and Spotify at Straight Outta Marvel. Okay? Okay. Let's get back to the episode. So number 41. So all that building up Sentry actually backfires on Val because he turns on her very quickly. Like, bruh, he was saying shit like, why I gotta listen to you? Like, what I need to listen to you for? Like, so, cutscene, Yelena, after they all got whooped by Sentry and ran. When I say ran, they all ran. They got in the elevator, ran downstairs, and this is when Sentry was like, this is why I say it doesn't start backfiring because he was like, why would I need to kill them? They're not a threat to me. I don't need to kill them. So all that going on, Yelena's emotional and she started trauma dumping, or I don't even want to say trauma dumping. She started doing what I do. Like this, I do this when I get mad. I say how the fuck I feel. Like when I get mad, and this it's a toxic thing. It's a toxic trait to have in a relationship because I have it. Because when I get mad, I'm like, all right, well, let me tell you how I feel. You know, because sometimes you need to just tuck that. And that's what Yelena did. Like, she went off. She told Ghost, how you gonna be a hero? You're not even a good person. And Ghost was like, damn, bitch. She told I don't think she got at Bucky, but Alexi said something. She was like, I'm not, I'm not Yelena. She's like, you're a piece of shit. You're not a real dad. Like she got on him. And then that's when John Walker was like, whoa, that's crazy. And she was like, oh, so now you want to be nice? And he was like, oh, what? It's my turn? And she was like, I don't got to tell you. He was like, wait, what she said? Because this was crazy. I got to get this verbatim. She was like, I don't have to tell you you're a piece of trash. You know your family. No, this is what she said. She said, I don't have to tell you that you're a piece of trash. You know that, and so does your family. I was like, God damn, Shawty. You didn't have to go there. You didn't have to go there. Like, come on, dog. That was uncalled for. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why she had to. She spewed venom. So number 43. So Bob says, why would a god need to take orders from anyone since he's stronger than Thor? And he said that because, like I said, Val was building him up so tough. Oh, he's stronger than all the Avengers combined. And when he said he called himself a god, and then she was like, a god, slow down, honey. And he was like, well, you said I'm stronger than all the Avengers combined. And if I'm not mistaken, one of those Avengers is a god from outer space. Right? Boom, got her. So that's when she tried to, hit the kill switch on him. And then he yoked her up and was about to kill her. But she was saved by her assistant. But that wasn't for long because that's when his dark side took over. That's when the real dark Century took over. I don't even want to call him Century. We're gonna call him the Void. That man is the Void. He's not Century. He's the Void. Number 44. As Yelena and Alexi is having a heart to heart, you find out he never reached out after Natasha died. So I'm not sure when this takes place because she was saying, so she says something about it only being like they hadn't seen each other in a year. And then I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, has it only been like a couple years in the MCU? Because Black Widow came out in 2021, right? Which at the time in the MCU was about 2025. So I'm guessing at this point we probably about 2028. So I guess it makes sense if I guess it makes sense. That doesn't make sense because in the MCU at the time of Black Widow, it was 2016. And then when she comes back, when Yelena comes back, Natasha's already dead because she sacrificed herself for the Soul Stone. So yeah, I'm not sure what the hell is going on with that. I need to really see what the time is. We're gonna check that, all right? But I like the heart to heart, and it was very good. So let's get to that. Number 45, Alexi says, when Yelena was a child, she wanted to be a goalie, and he asked Yelena why. Yelena says, because so I didn't have to run as much. And he said, maybe so, but you wanted to be a goalie because you wanted to clean up everyone's mistakes. Very touching moment from father to daughter. So, and I love that Alexi made made it a thing. Like he didn't just let her go. He ran after her, let her get her cries out because at the end of the day, I'm not saying we're all emotional creatures, but you know women, bro, like women can't wait to cry. So, just let her get her emotions out and let her regroup. So, that was a good dad moment right there. Number 46, seeing Century turn people into shadows was insane. And I'm thinking that was supposed to be an atomic bomb reference. So I just watched a documentary about the atomic bomb that came out on Netflix, right? And it said about how the atomic bomb made black rain and how it blew up. When it blew up, it casted a smoke stain, I guess, of a person. So I'm thinking that's what the director went for with that. Okay, so just a cool nod. I like to see that. Number 47. I'm being an asshole, but I hate it. It took three super soldiers to pick up that piece of the building. So John Walker saves a little girl. So they out here, Sentry going crazy, shadowing everyone, all the planes going everywhere, pieces of buildings falling. John Walker saves a little girl with his back. Now I got it from his perspective because he didn't get his hands on it. But I was a little shocked that the ghost came up. She's not a super soldier, so wouldn't expect her to budget. Yelena came up. She's not a super soldier, wouldn't expect her to budget. But then the Red Guardian came up, and I just assumed that would have been enough. It wasn't. Then Bucky had to come up and pick up the piece of the building. And then when you look at the building, it's like I get it. It's like I get it, but I've seen Spider-Man lift way heavier objects. So it's like, and then not only that, like I remember watching, I just watched Black Widow. Like Alexi like picked up a damn truck and threw it. So for him to be struggling like with that piece of the building, a little strange for me. But I get it. It's a movie. They need to have that emotional thing, and they need to have that teamwork thing to say because there's a lot of foreshadowing in this movie. So when this is foreshadowing the teamwork that's going to happen a little later. So I get it. I'm not mad at it. I'm just saying. And I said I'm being an asshole. I said I'm being an asshole. Alex. So number 48. Alexi saving a little girl. So mind you, I told you guys all these things, everything's falling around, falling down, and one was falling into this little girl. And Alexi, he went and saved her. Cool moment. He was like, "No one's gonna hurt you, little girl," or he called her little one or something like that. And then Sentry just came down, turned into a shadow, sent it to the void. Hilarious. Thought it was funny. Side note, I really love how it was a woman and she was about to get crushed by a car, and Yelena peeped it. This is probably my favorite part of the action. Is because she was. I'm a girl dad, right? And I got a lot of girl stepchildren. Um, I got a lot of girl stepchildren, a lot of nieces. So I got a special place in my heart for girls. And she was like, "Dad!" Like I love that part. And he seen what she seen, and he threw up for her to save that mom and daughter or mom and son. Love that part. Probably my favorite moment of the movie, if I'm being honest. Number 49. Seeing the darkness consume the city is crazy, especially when you see it takes you to your most traumatic moment. So I was thinking about this, and I know everyone is like, "Oh, well, Spider Man, he got spider sense, blah 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 blah." How is Spider Man supposed to defeat this? You know what I mean? So I was thinking about it, how cool it is, and how cool it was seeing the darkness, his trauma, and when I say his, I'm talking about Bobby, his trauma taking over the city. Because we're not even talking about Sentry. This is the trauma monster that lives inside of him. So he's looking at it and it's taking over him. And uh he's trying to deal with it, but this is how it leaked out after Val tried to kill him. So even though his trauma is a detriment, it saved him in that moment, right? And then it brought him to where we are now, taking over the city, right? Number 50. So speaking of traumatic moments, we get to a traumatic moment with Yelena. So her most traumatic moment is her setting up the little girl to get killed. So when she busts out of that traumatic moment because Yelena stepped into the darkness, and when she stepped into the darkness, she got her traumatic moment, right? So she busts through the wall, and it led her to another room of her second most traumatic moment, and that is her with a bunch of widows, and they're loading up guns. She was the first one to put the clip in, cock it back, set it down. She raised her hand. The teacher said, "Good job, Yelena. You stand over here." And then the rest of the widows, they held their hands out, both of them, and the teacher just whack, whack, just whacking the shit out their hands. Yeah, that would be traumatic. You know what I mean? Because it was to the point where when Yelena seen her younger self, she went and put her ears up or her hands up to her ears, her younger self ears, like, please don't listen. Like, so it's something that really bothers her. And I love that this moment is dealing with just such traumatic issues, okay? I just love that. And we've seen all those hand lashings, and it's pretty cool, you know? So before we get to the next 10, man, please, if you enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe on YouTube at Kevin27 World. Turn on that notification bell if you like it, like my content, comment, all that. Also, follow Kevin27 World on Instagram, Twitter, aka X, and please 5-star rate me if you are watching on Spotify. And if you are watching on Spotify, you enjoy this 5-star rate me and give me a follow. And make sure you comment on the video. And if you listening on Apple Podcasts, just a good old regular 5-star rating will suffice. Okay. Now let's get back to the show. Number 51. Her next trauma door is her constantly drinking. Um, Shout out to those who pull up that expensive so they can get offensive. Yeah, man. So this is the year of doppelgangers, or I don't want to say doppelgangers. Um, I don't even want to say twins, but I just say that because of what happened with the Robert De Niro movie. Then obviously Sinners. Now we got Yelena, and she has to see herself, and she's fighting against herself. You know, she was on the bathroom floor getting wasted. Like I said, more foreshadowing. She had told Alexi that all she does is she had told Alexi that all she does is go to work, come home, get drunk, stare at her phone, and be miserable about her life. So it was cool that they put that to use. I'm assuming she's Russian, so she got that vodka. You know, I'm American, so I'm a whiskey man. You know what I mean? I haven't drank vodka since I was like a teenager. That's like kid shit. But Yeah, man, I like to see that. I like to see that. And I just like how much they deal with the trauma in this movie. Deal with everyone's trauma, and I feel like everyone has that one traumatic experience that always messes with you, the one that keeps you up at night. You know what I mean? So number 52, finally we get the call back of Bobby always or Bobby saying always making it worse when he sticks up for his mom from his dad. So remember earlier when they were climbing up the wall and he said, "Oh, I didn't think this far ahead," when actually he had the perfect plan. But when he was like, "I didn't think this far ahead about us climbing up here and then how we all going to jump up at the same time." And then who lambasted him? Freaking John Walker told him it was a stupid plan. He was like, "Yeah, always make it worse." So we get the always make it worse thing. We get the always make it worse thing when when John Walker, or not John Walker, but when we are in his room now and we see what's going on, and it's now I'm not sure if the dad was slapping the mom or if he was hitting her with a belt, but we know what happened with Wilson Fisk, like when his mom was getting hit with a belt. Like, so again, I'm not mad at that. Anytime your mom getting beat with a belt, it's like, come on, dog. Like, come on, bro. So it is what it is. Number 53, another one of Bob's trauma is him sign twirling on meth in a chicken suit. That would be traumatic. Now, I don't want to say it like that because I did sign up to be a sign twirler when I was like 18, 17, 18. Yeah, I was like 18, 19 actually. Glad I didn't get the job because that's just and I'm not even I'm not shitting on no sign twirlers, but come on, bro. Like, that's a poor person's job. Like, and it's not even just a poor person's job. It's like if you see a sign twirler, like, that's just a temporary job. I live in Las Vegas. I've seen sign twirlers out there in 110-degree heat. That's never a job that I want to do. So I'm glad I've never gotten a job being a sign twirler. And I'm glad that that they showed that that's a traumatic job to have. And not only that, he was on meth when he was doing it. So I love that they showed that. So number 54. Love the fight between Robert and his darker half and what that symbolizes. So we get to the point where everyone has joined in the party. And I love that Alexi was messed up seeing Yelena going step into the void, not knowing if she would ever come back. He was messed up. But then Ghost said, we going after her. Maybe she's there, maybe she's not, right? And then they all find each other and they all fight Bob's trauma. Fake Captain America John Walker knocks out his dad. Like, it was a bunch of stuff that went on that they tackled and they did what they had to do. And then all that gets resolved, right? And I love what it symbolizes because I said it in the previous episode. We all have that thing that tells you you're not good enough. Well, and I don't want to say all of us because I speak for myself. I'm a self-doubter. Like, I do a lot of, oh, I look good, I'm sexy, because I do too much of the other stuff. You're not good enough. Like, how can that someone ever love you? You an asshole, piece of shit. I do enough of that. So it's the reason why I always try to build myself up when I feel confident, right? So I love what that represents with Bob just trying to beat that dark person out of you to say that says you're not good enough or you're not this or you're not that. Like I love that. So good symbolism. I love it. I love it. While all that is going on, we get to number 55, and that's Yelena telling Bob he's not alone, and everyone holds on to him. It's such a touching moment. It almost brings me to tears. And this is the second time I've watched this. So it's a moment where Bobby, he's trying to beat the darker half of him into submission, but the darker half of him, this is what he wants because he's bringing the only light in his body to his darkness by killing him. So if he kills him, he's going to be forever dark. He's going to be forever century, the dark century, right? And Yelena peeps this and she runs after him. And remember, a lot of foreshadowing. This is what I said from the beginning. She already had an emotional connection from him or with him from the beginning. So she runs up to him and she holds him and she tells him, "You're not alone. I'm here. I'm right here with you." Oh man, I might cry right now. Oh shit, oh, shit. Hold on, I gotta gather myself. So she tells him, "You're not alone. I'm right here with you. I got you." And everyone breaks out of their restraints and they all hold on to Sentry, Bobby, while he's being his darker half, and he stops and everything goes back to normal. And it's a gut punch. It's a really good moment. It's a real Marvel MCU moment that I enjoyed. I really enjoyed that. I really did. Damn. I really enjoyed that. So, number 56, Bob doesn't remember anything after all that touchiness, all that mushiness. When we get back to the regular scheduled programming, Bob was like, "What happened? What happened here?" He's looking around. He's like, "Why is everything messed up?" He blacked out. He doesn't remember anything. So all that touchiness, it just goes out the window. Number 57, Val finessing her way out of lockup by announcing the new Avengers in front of the press is a savvy move. So savvy that even Yelena tells her, "You know we own you now." Now, I thought it was a savvy move because Red Guardian, someone that she embarrassed earlier, she was like, "Who the fuck is the Red Guardian?" He's like, "I'm going to kill this lady." Like every Bucky was the only one like, we have to take her into custody. But she was so smart. She was like, "Oh my god!" Like she played damsel in distress. "Come pick me up," and then she lured the Thunderbolts into her trap. And as soon as they came out, she was like, "I did this to prove a point that I could put together a good team." And she put together the Thunderbolts. And not only did she put them together, she called them the New Avengers. So number 58, the credits roll. They start playing the Avengers theme. I noticed that, but then they went back. I think they went back to the Thunderbolts theme, but I don't know. But you can see a lot of people rejecting them as the new Avengers. Some people saying not my Avengers. No way, I won't accept it. Things like that. Number 59, I'm guessing the asterisk in the Thunderbolts is because they were going to be called the New Avengers. So she called them the New Avengers, and then that stuck. Even in the post credits, they pulled up Thunderbolts with the asterisk, smacked it out, and pulled up the New Avengers. Right? I don't think that should be a joke because when you think about their skill set, like Ghost, we got three super soldiers, which is cool. We got a widow, and then we got someone who could phase in and out of matter, right? Like what Ghost can do is cool. So I'm not mad at them being the new Avengers. Honestly, I'm really not. We throwing Thunderbolts out of here, so now they're the new Avengers, right? So that's what the asterisk was. I'm not mad at that. Number 60, 14 months later, and John Walker's shield is still bent out of shape. Now, I thought it was a funny joke because remember in the movie, Sentry took John Walker's shield and bent it, and it was a funny joke because this joke landed twice. I went to the theater twice, and both times when John Walker said he turned my shield into a taco, it landed. And I'm I think it's crazy because we talking about 14 months later and his shield is still like that. I'm like, it's official now. You're working for the Avengers. I'm not really sure why he doesn't have a new shield. I don't know if it's some weird meta joke. I'm guessing that's what it is. Kind of corny, but it is what it is. So before we get to the last couple, please, last time I'm mentioning it, make sure you follow at Kevin27 World on Instagram, Twitter, subscribe on YouTube, leave a like, comment, and turn on that notification bell. And that's really for the Apple listeners. Like, you got to see me doing my thing in person. And then Spotify, if you're listening, you're watching, please 5-star rate me, follow me, okay, at Spotify on or at Kevin27 World or at Straight Outta Marvel on Spotify. Yes, the liquor is kicking in. I'm at the end of the episode. All right, so let's get to the last two. The Sentry. The Sentry can't unlock his powers without the trauma. So remember when Sentry got shot and he flew? He can't do that. Remember when Sentry was doing all that stuff, putting everyone in the void? He can't do that. He can't stop the bullets. He can't do anything because he beat his trauma. Only thing he can do is the dishes. So you got to remember that when we get forward to what's going on. Like, remember, that's all he can do is the dishes. So I hope he's a better person when we get to Doomsday. But for what we see now, Sentry, he's a piece of shit. So I don't know. And last but not least, the extra dimensional ship has entered the atmosphere, and it was Fantastic Four. Now, I did talk about this post-credit scene in the last one, but only why I brought it up because I did not put the extra dimensional part. So the Thunderbolts are in the Avengers Tower, right? And one of the robots said it's an extra dimensional, not interdimensional. They said extra dimensional, not 3-dimensional, not 2D. They said extra. from a different universe. So yeah, I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see how the Fantastic Four get into the MCU, or at least into this universe, right? Like, how is it going to go so bad that they have to leave universes? I can't wait to see that, and I love that. This movie is coming out in a couple of months. I thought this was the perfect end credit scene to set up that movie. This is what Marvel used to be. So, with that being said, this is the 62 things that I missed the first time I seen the Thunderbolts. If you enjoyed this episode, like, comment, subscribe on this video, turn on that notification bell at Kevin27 World. Speaking of Kevin27 World, DMs are always open. You can tell me how you like the movie, and please follow there, subscribe. You can actually comment on the latest post, okay? And if you're listening on Spotify at Straight Out of Marvel, or if you're listening to Straight Out of Marvel on Apple Podcasts, 5-star rate me. I'm not saying 10, these are two hands. I'm just saying 2 5 stars. You could 5-star rate me on your official and then do it on your burner. Like 5-star rate your boy. I need that. I need it, man. I've been on the Apple Podcast charts for the last few weeks in America, and I'm appreciating you guys. And before we get out of here, we're still doing Straight Out of The Last of Us. We got episode 4 coming up Sunday. We will be there. So I'll see you guys Sunday. Actually, you already hear episode 4 before you see this because this is going to be released on Monday. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Believe it till you make believers. Love you guys.